If you haven't been watching the Last Dance documentary series about the career of Michael Jordan on ESPN, then you just need to go ahead and slap yourself in the face right now, because if you are a sports fan, there is no reason that you should be missing it. Now, for those of you bums that have been living on another planet the past few weeks and have no idea what documentary I'm talking about, what it is it's basically about the final season of the Bulls dynasty in 1997 and 98. Going into that year, Bulls general manager Jerry Krause had stated publicly that Phil Jackson would not be coaching the Chicago Bulls the following season. And Michael Jordan said, if Phil Jackson's out, I'm out. He wasn't coming back. So Michael Jordan had a film crew follow them the entire year. Phil Jackson named that season The Last Dance, hence the name of the documentary series. So the series jumps back and forth from the time that Michael Jordan entered the NBA and into the 1997-98 season, and it follows the Chicago Bulls throughout that entire year. There's always been this never-ending debate in the NBA, and you never really hear this debate in other sports. I never hear people ask the question, would Tom Brady have made it 30 years ago in the NFL? Would Peyton Manning have made it in the 1970s NFL era? You never hear that shit when people talk about football. The NBA, though, it is a constant debate. Would LeBron James have made it in the Jordan era? Would Michael Jordan make it in the modern NBA? It's a question that can never truly be answered, but the debate rages on anyway. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Michael Jordan would not make it in today's NBA. That is just preposterous. The greatest basketball player of all time would make it in any era of the NBA. Doesn't fucking matter. His talent alone would be enough to make him a legend no matter when he was playing. But what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to give you the reasons that I feel like Michael Jordan wouldn't have a problem making it in the modern NBA. But I'm also going to outline some problems that I think he would face that he didn't encounter during the mid to late 80s all the way through the 90s. The real question is, would Michael Jordan have experienced the same amount of success in today's NBA than he did in the 90s? Would he have won 6 NBA titles? I'll get to that answer in a few minutes. First, let me tell you why I feel like Michael Jordan would make it today. Like I said a second ago, his talent and athleticism alone would work in the present day NBA. When he came into the league, he was a skinny 6'6" guard. I think he was only 190 pounds when he came out of North Carolina into Chicago to enter the NBA. But after he was beaten to hell and back by the Detroit Pistons in the late 80s, early 90s, Michael Jordan decided that he needed to bulk up, needed to put on some muscle. And the next year, he ended up beating Detroit in the playoffs and winning the NBA Finals. That was the series that is now legendary because Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons walked off the court before the game had even ended and refused to shake the hands of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. The biggest reason I can say with 100% certainty that Michael Jordan would make it in the modern NBA is because of his drive, his mentality. I don't think there's ever been a player in the league more driven than Michael Jordan. Maybe you could say Kobe Bryant. Kobe would be a close second. But Michael Jordan was the most driven player that I've ever seen. The guy hated to lose. It didn't matter if it was a card game. Didn't matter if it was golf. Didn't matter if it was blackjack. It didn't matter if it was a regular season game in the middle of December against the Milwaukee Bucks. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It was all equivalent. Michael Jordan hated to fucking lose at anything. That's why when I see some people point to the fact that Michael Jordan would struggle in today's NBA because of his weakness shooting the 3 ball, I just shake my head and laugh. You've got understand, when he came up, it was a different style of basketball. Hell, when he was playing in North Carolina, they didn't even have three-pointers. When he was learning the game of basketball as a child, the three-point shot didn't exist. For the majority of his NBA career, Michael Jordan was a mid-range jump shooter, a shot that is now irrelevant in the NBA. However, if MJ was born in the 90s and playing today, there's not a doubt in my mind that he would be one of the best, if not the best, three-point shooter in the league. Michael Jordan shot 33% from beyond the arc during his NBA career. Now, that's fucking terrible. But he shot less than 1,800 threes his entire career. To put that number in perspective, Steph Curry attempted more three-point shots than Michael Jordan by the 5th year of his career. He shot close to 6,000 threes already. He's still got another 5 to 7 years to play in the league. Back in Michael Jordan's day, NBA teams didn't shoot three-point shots. They averaged about 3 three-point shots a game. Today, NBA teams shoot that amount of threes in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game. My point is, the three-point shot wasn't a big part of the game back in Jordan's day. But if he were playing today, there's not a doubt in my mind that Michael Jordan would be an efficient three-point shooter. Do you know how I know this? Because Michael Jordan was a great free throw shooter. When NBA teams are scouting college basketball players, they don't pay any attention to three-point percentage. They pay attention to free throw percentage because they know that most great free throw shooters are or can become a great three-point shooter. Now, I could go on and on about how Michael Jordan could be great in the modern NBA. Actually, I think he could score more points today than he did back in the 80s and 90s because the rule changes have made offense so much easier in today's NBA. Go watch those playoff series between the Bulls and the Pistons. Detroit was literally beating the shit out of Michael Jordan every time that he drove the lane. No fouls were called. You couldn't get away with that today. Nowadays, if someone breathes on LeBron James, there's a foul called. The real question is, back to the real question that I posed earlier, would Michael Jordan experience the same level of success today than he did in the 1990s? Would he win 6 NBA titles? Would he lead the Bulls or whatever team that he would theoretically be playing on 2 separate three-peats? The answer is no. I don't think Michael Jordan would be a 6-time champion if he were playing in the modern NBA. Now, this may be blasphemous to some of you, maybe even most of you, but let me explain why I think that. First of all, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest professional athlete of all time. Not just the greatest basketball player. I think he's the best athlete across any sport. Now, with that being said, I think Michael Jordan would struggle a little bit in today's NBA. That doesn't mean I don't think he would win multiple titles. That's a given. Do I think he would win 6? No. Do I think he would win 3 in a row? No. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. The NBA today is completely different than it was in the 1980s and 1990s. And I'm not just talking about the game on the court. The players today are forming these super teams. It's been going on, 10, 12 years now. Ever since Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen got together in Boston. Superstars around the league are conspiring to find ways to play with each other. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George with the Clippers, LeBron and AD in Los Angeles. They worked behind the scenes for a couple of years trying to get Anthony Davis to join LeBron with the Lakers. LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh with the Heat. Kevin Durant leaving Oklahoma City to join the Warriors. It was not like that when Michael Jordan played. Charles Barkley wasn't reaching out to Michael Jordan in the offseason trying to join forces. They wanted to beat the shit out of each other. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird weren't trying to join the same team. They were trying to compete against each other. That is one of the main reasons I think Michael Jordan would struggle today. One, He wouldn't want to join forces with the LeBrons and the Durants of the league, especially if they beat him in the playoffs. He would want to destroy him. More importantly, though, I don't think guys in today's NBA would enjoy or want to play with Michael Jordan. They view him as a bully. He's too aggressive, too demanding. I said earlier that Kobe Bryant was the closest thing that we've ever seen to Michael Jordan. Not LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Especially when it comes to their drive to win. Both had very similar mentalities. Now, just look at what happened to Kobe Bryant during his career. I think the same thing would have happened to Michael Jordan. When Shaq left the Lakers after him and Kobe beefed for what seemed like years, Kobe Bryant couldn't get another superstar to come to play with him in Los Angeles. First season after Shaq left, Lakers missed the playoffs. It was Kobe and a team of scrubs. Following 2 seasons, 2 straight first-round exits. It wasn't until Pau Gasol was traded from Memphis to the Lakers that Kobe reached the top of the mountain again. Even the later years of his career, after he had already achieved legendary status, after the Kobe, Gasol, and Lamar Odom era where they won 2 straight titles, Kobe Bryant struggled to get other superstar free agents to come join him in Los Angeles. Guys did not want to play with Kobe Bryant. One, because he was a ball hogger, he was perceived as a ball hog, and he was hard to get along with. If you don't believe me, just go Google NBA players didn't want to play with Kobe Bryant. You will find plenty of evidence of what I'm talking about. I think Michael Jordan would have had the same problem. I think the modern NBA player today, LeBron's, the Durant, Steph Curry's, guys like that, and even the role players, would find Michael Jordan extremely hard to get along with. He was accused of being a ball hog early in his career until Phil Jackson broke him of that. Michael Jordan, even today, is accused of being a bully, accused of being too aggressive, overly competitive. A guy like LeBron James, he has never been perceived like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan when it comes to being aggressive or a bully. If anything, he's been accused of being too nice, too easy on his teammates, doesn't hold them accountable. The only place that LeBron James has struggled getting superstar free agents to join him was Cleveland. And in my opinion, that had a whole lot more to do with the city of Cleveland than it did with guys getting along with LeBron James. I think Michael Jordan would struggle, just like Kobe did, finding other superstar players to want to join him. And honestly, I don't think he would want them to join him. He would rather beat them than join them. One of the reasons I don't think he would be able to win 6 titles in the modern NBA is because he would be trying to beat these super teams basically by himself. Now, perhaps the team that he's theoretically playing for would draft a guy like a Scottie Pippen to be his number 2, but I don't see Michael Jordan being like the guys of the day and trying to join up. I don't see him pulling a Kevin Durant, getting beaten by a team like the Warriors, and then joining them the next fucking season to go chase a ring. Now, me saying all this doesn't mean I don't think Michael Jordan would be an NBA champion today. That's not what I'm saying, because I know he would. Maybe he would find a way to win 5 titles like Kobe did. I just don't think he would be as successful. He wouldn't be at that level that he was in the 90s because his mentality doesn't fit that of the modern NBA player. Another thing I think he would struggle with is social media. LeBron James, the one thing I can say about LeBron James, he came into the league in 2003, but he has really grown in the social media era. Now, LeBron, you can criticize him for his game on the court. You can criticize him for maybe some of his political views. One thing you cannot criticize about LeBron, in the age of social media, he has never had a major scandal break out. Michael Jordan had major scandals break out in the 90s, pre-social media. You had the Atlantic City trip before Game 2 of the 93 Eastern Conference Finals. That was a huge fucking deal. You had the seedy gambling people that he was tied to. the checks when the FBI was investigating the guys he was playing golf with, Michael Jordan writing them checks for $57,000. It had wiped away the squeaky clean image that Nike and McDonald's and Michael Jordan himself had built up around him. It was rumored that his first retirement from the league was because NBA Commissioner David Stern was wanting to push him out to let the gambling rumors die down. It was even rumored that when Michael Jordan's father passed, that it had to do with Jordan's gambling debts. Now, obviously, that is preposterous. But I do think Michael Jordan would have struggled in today's NBA with the whole social media era. All right, that's all for today. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for me. Click that notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. I appreciate those of you that have already done so. Leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Michael Jordan would have been as successful in the modern NBA as he was in the 90s? Or do you think he would struggle to get along with the modern players? Do you think he would struggle with social media? Let me know what you think. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you have any questions for me, you can email me at BTLKC84@gmail.com. I will see you guys next time.